Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
Tomorrow is opening day.
This morning, didn't have a great hunt. Deer didn't move like usual.
We just got set up in the middle of this bedding thicket. Been saving this spot from the rut. I think it's a nice buck.
Boom! Hits a 170.
That was money. I think he's down right over there, maybe 10 yards.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy.
Baller rut.
Here we are, Whitetail Legacy Podcast, coming at you on Wednesday. That's Velvet Light Day. We're coming at you. We're starting a new small series here calling the Whitetail Gear Series. We're looking for maybe well-known but still smaller companies that are creating very awesome gear for whitetail hunters. We're not taking away from the legends. The listener numbers have just exploded with the Legend Series. Can't appreciate or thank you guys enough. We appreciate all you. Leave us a review on iTunes, though. I know a lot of you are listening and have not left a review because we got 55 reviews and the listener numbers are way higher than that.
Right.
So if you listen, go ahead and click you ain't got to leave a review, just click a rating. Give us whatever star.
I will say I do side with the audience. It is tough to do that.
It is tough.
To remember to do it. You know,
It is tough.
I mean, you got to scroll all the way down. I find myself doing more now that I'm more aware about doing that. But it is tough to get it done. So,
all right. Well, back to the series. We got a few companies, 4 lined up right now. These may be companies that you've heard of, probably a lot that you have never heard of, but it's stuff that we use that's at a reasonable price, that is very good content, or very good gear, and good content. Yeah, and good content for you guys to learn off of. So we're gonna get right into the people to make this possible and get into the show. Homie's got the VIP going on right over there. He prepared notes right now. It's impressive.
We can all get lucky. Did you see the antelope veteran kill with the 175 grain?
I did. That was epic.
Okay.
Complete blow through on an antelope. I don't know how many yards, but with recurve.
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how many yards it was, but even still to do that with a longbow?
With a mechanical broadhead.
Trad bow, yeah.
Or a mechanical.
So I guess like the stigma with that is a lot of people do that actually is what I've come to learn, but they don't publicize it because there's that, friction of, well, you're using a recurve and you're using a mechanical broadhead. It needs the force to open up. But with the veteran, you don't need to open it up.
You don't need to have the force.
You just got to pop that ring.
Yeah.
So, thanks for Dan for going live with it.
Yeah,
so,
that was cool.
And congrats on a stellar antelope. And then that'll take us right into the
That
VIP.
thing had huge shovels. I don't think I've ever seen an antelope with like shovels that big.
No,
Cool.
It was a damn good antelope.
Yeah.
Getting into the VIP Veteran Broadhead shout out. This was sent in by Travis Bigger. He has nominated Ryan Bigger, who was part of the 82nd Airborne Division, and he is the co-founder of Bigger Bucks Outfitters. So, Ryan, we appreciate you and your service to this country, and we appreciate Travis for sending that in on our Facebook post about that. And you guys with Bigger Bucks Outfitters, let me tell you what. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a year for you guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun meeting you down there at Elmwood or at ECW in Roseville, and I can't wait to do more with them guys and hang out with them. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so a little bit more information about Bigger Bucks Outfitters. They're located in Lomax, Illinois, right on the Mississippi River. They have over 2,000 acres with several stand and blind locations to take hunters, along with guides that'll take you to the field and get you set up for a great hunt. So they have a Facebook page, Bigger Bucks Outfitters. They also have a website, biggerbucksoutfitters.com. Be sure to get your hunt booked, and I'm telling you what, man, the way that it sounds, it's going to be killer.
Yeah, he's got a lot of big bucks on cam, some in the 180s he was showing us, a lot of 160s, a lot of really good 140 class deer, and a lot of up-and-comers. So I'm excited. It's cool that we met him and get to shout him out. You know, we told him we'd give him a shout-out just because he's a good dude and he's starting something, and we know how it is to start something.
Yeah.
It's hard to gain traction, so this is our way of helping him gain a little traction and just get to people out there. So if you're looking to come up here and hunt in Illinois, pretty close to us, maybe an hour away.
Yep.
We work over that area, or I work over that area all the time. On the tracks, I always see big bucks, a lot of timber, a lot of good ground over there. So I think there'll be some big deer. And then you get to come by and check out ECW Calls' new shop.
For sure.
So let's roll right into that.
Yeah, so, we've been down to ECW. There in Roseville, did his grand opening, put out the video for him. You know what I was really blown away with that is, like, his vision not to just, be ECW, but to be bigger than that, provide more services with the pro shop, a spot to shoot your bow in the winter.
Yeah.
In the off season.
I really like how he's really reaching out to you don't find people that are reaching out to small communities. They're trying to go where the money is.
Yep.
And he's trying to help a community that he likes with people in it that he loves, and he's trying to bring that community. And I don't know how many people came by and said, "Oh, it's going to be really good for the community." And I talked to Ed, the roller rink, and he was like, "Yeah, it'll be really good for the community to have another business there.
Yeah.
Help with the taxes, help with everything." And he revived a downtown building that was falling apart.
Yeah, just full of, junk wood that, they had to move out from the pictures that Jeff showed us. So, big props to him. I mean, just like we said on the podcast with him, that was super cool, and we're super pumped, and it's been a lot of work, and he's really executing on his plan. And, I know in a year or two, man, we're going to be down there shooting bows inside.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I got Ingram's Outdoor Obsession, all your taxidermy needs. You can check him out. He's just north of us. If you want the address, you can go ahead and message us, and we'll get you connected.
I'm not sure if that's on his Facebook page or not.
I think it is.
I'll have to check it out.
One thing I want to shout out for Ingram was it's getting that time of year where you're out hanging stands. Ingram's a hardworking dude. He's just like us. He is. He's not an old guy. He's a middle-aged guy. He had a little mishap with dehydration out in the woods while hanging stands and cutting lanes and stuff. So that's the time of year we don't really do safety announcements on this. But with Ingram being so close to me, when he told me that, it scared me to make sure and either take a buddy or take some water. He said he wasn't even feeling dehydrated, and then he was just blacked out. You know what I mean? And that happened to me at work a couple years ago. I get home from work and I just black out of my house. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I end up going to the emergency room, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I dehydrated." Gave me 3 bags of IVs. I felt great. Same thing happened to him. So he said that he could barely he would make it like 50 yards on his four-wheeler and black out again. So it's
really
super serious. So
wow.
Make sure you're out there, you're drinking water and staying hydrated. Out there hanging stands. I know there's a lot of people that they're like, we got to make a move. It's 90 degrees. We got this buck coming off camp. Might be able to kill him early. And you're trying to rush, and you get out there. So I just wanted to put that safety announcement out from Ingram's Outdoor Obsession.
Getting into Scentlock, the Oz Radial Nano. It's something that we don't have yet, possibly looking into getting. But it's just like the Oz Radial and the Oz Radial Easy, except it's a more compact version. It still has that great, more improved user interface than the original 400B. I believe they're still promoting a 6-hour battery life on the smaller Nano, so still giving you plenty of ozone. And you know what that'd really be great for is, like, I don't know how many times I've seen this on social media, is somebody's got that little closet underneath, like, their stairway that they've turned into, like their hunting closet because, I think that is a super good place, to be able to run that. You don't have to spend extra money to get a closet or anything. Yeah. And if you had a bag, you could use your 500 in there. But that Oz Nano,
just gonna get the whole area,
just
get your boots,
everything,
get everything.
Yep.
And then keep
was it Duncan?
Yeah.
Duncan's the latest one I seen that had that closet. So
and then just get you get you get the stink out of that little area too. Underneath the
Yeah.
basement might have just been a storage area or something. Now
Small,
you're,
tight, confined area.
no air circulation, so you can run that thing when you go in there and run it for a cycle, and then come back next time. It should be fresh in there.
Yeah.
So that's a great tip.
All right, and this week's bow hunting league update is there is no update. Besides, we put out a blog covering the bow hunting league. I was trying to get the last few people that maybe had some last minute questions about that, trying to get them a little bit more information about the league. Also, in that blog, we showcased the top 10 deer that have been taken in the league, so you'll be able to check out all the deer, all the bucks that have scored the highest within the creation of the league. So that was pretty cool. A handful of 200s. Check that out, whitetaillegacypodcast.com. Next week, we will be podcasting with the first buck entered into this year's bow hunting league. So looking forward to that. But for now, here's Jim from Lock and Walk.
All right, we got Jim Roos on from Lock and Walk. I call them tree stand harnesses. Is that the correct way to call them, or backpacks?
Yeah, I call them the tree stand carrying system.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, we met up with you. I seen Dan had one of the packs, and I messaged him and I said, "Man, I need something like that. Where can I find it?" And he told me, he said, "You got to check out these. You got to check out these Lock and Walk system." I'm like, "All right." So me and you got set up through Dan, and I couldn't be happier with the carry system, man. It's hard to beat.
Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that.
So go ahead and give the listeners a quick introduction about yourself.
Well, my name's Jim Roos, and I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I've been doing the Lock and Walk system for about roughly 10 years now. I did it in my spare time while working. I was an industrial electrician for a municipality, and I developed the system originally off of the old Alice Pack system. I was in the military when I was younger, and we used the Alice Packs before the Molly system came out. And I actually did them for myself because I like to hunt swamps. And so whenever I carried them tree stands back, I couldn't handle all the weight of the stands and the long walks. So I came out with putting the straps on my tree stand. And then I wanted some center straps, and I seen the military had a type of strap, but it wasn't regular issue. And so I kind of like sewed my own on to the straps, the center sternum strap. And then next thing I know, some of the guys, my buddies, liked them, and they were asking me to make them up for them. And so I was trying to do this all on a little home machine, and I was pressing it together with bar clamps and stuff, try to get the material underneath the foot. And it wasn't working out too good. And later on, as I adapted more and more to it, they came out with the Molly system. And when I seen that, my eyes lit up because it was really padded, had a nice back pad on it. And it was 10 times better overall as far as improvements, and had the belt system with it. And so I started getting into a bigger system with the Mollies, and had to get the bigger machine. So I went to another style machine, a mid-sized machine, but it still wasn't large enough to pierce through the padding. So to do because I kind of like to sew different models so that they fit on covered all the bases of the tree stands out there. And so in order to do that, I had to pierce through the padding, and so I went to the the mid-size machine, and I used that for a year or so, and then my buddies liked them, and so then I decided to get a big machine. And so I sent to California to get a great big leather stitching machine. And my mother is a IT specialist, and she was a networking professional for her job. So she decided to try to put together a website for me so I could reach out to people, and so then I went and me and my wife decided to start the Lock and Walk, and was kind of took off after that. We started doing some local shows and selling them at the local shows, and it started developing the system, and then I seen an attorney, and I had it patented, and it just grew, and after I got the patent, the 4-inch belts came out, and so I went to 4-inch belt, which was much lighter, and for smaller tree stands, as they came out, the aluminum, and so it worked out great.
Yeah, I could only imagine back in the day, you're packing in those heavy stands into swamps. You definitely needed something like this, where now with the lighter stands, it's super convenient to have. But I couldn't imagine, you're packing a 25-pound climber, 30-pound climber back in the day, all steel. You definitely needed something better to carry your gear than just some shoulder straps out of a backpack or something.
And that's what the thing about it is, I like to hunt, and a lot of guys out there do. They like to hunt. They like to go back in deep, and where they, hunt big bucks, and with the straps, with the straps that I sew up, you put the harness on, and it's like carrying practically nothing. You can put backpacks on your stand, then attached to them, and you sew all your gears with you, and you can go out for the day and enjoy the day without working up a terrible sweat, and get in and out. I got the light harnesses now. I got the heavy duty harnesses for the guy that's the run and gun systems. So I got a number of systems out there for just about covers the basic needs for all the hunters out there.
Yeah, I checked out your smaller system. I'm glad I went with the bigger because I'm going to be carrying camera gear in with sticks, but I could see a guy who's a solo hunter that's just carrying a few sticks and a lightweight stand, that being so sleek and small and still getting the job done. You still got the waist strap, still got the chest strap. That's key for me because everyone I've used before this don't have that waist strap, you know what I mean? So to carry that weight on your waist is so much better. It's just like getting a backpack with a waist strap. It's a game changer, You're not carrying it all on your shoulders and your chest, and it's pulling you backwards. When you got that waist strap, it's pulling you more down. But we threw the harness on, me and homie. We shot out of it, holding the stand. I've been packing in and jumped up bucks and had him run away. I don't ever think that scenario would happen, but I was like, hey, I'll try it. I want to see how fluid, and I shot out of it perfectly fine. It snugs your body very well, but you still have some flexibility in it, which I like. And I really like I don't know what kind of strap it's called, but the bottom ones that you just pop up and pull out, that hook to the bottom of the stand.
Oh, you're right, the detach.
Yeah,
straps.
I really like those for you can change up. So like homie's got bigger arms than I do, so he needs to maybe be a little bit bigger. Just pop it, pull it back together, and you could fit any person in that thing in a second. You know what I mean? Or it's getting late in the year and you're wearing a big jacket. You just pop that strap, slide it out, or the same thing. You start sweating, you take off a jacket instead of trying to monkey with the run a strap through here, pull this strap out, loosen it up a little bit, then draw it tight. You just literally pop a button, draw it, pop the button back. So I really like that
Right.
feature.
Just like you had said there, shooting out of it. It's got the right amount of padding, but it's not bulky either. So you still got your maneuverability. You can still get up, get down, get your bow drawn. Whatever you need to do. You can still do everything that you would need to do while wearing it, and it's not making you feel any restrictions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another thing I really loved, we were breaking it down, and I like how with that top backpack pad, it holds the straps up. So like even if you had your bow in your hand, you know how like some straps you have to like pick up, put your arm in, it holds the straps up. So you could literally set that on your tailgate, bend down, slide both your arms through at the same time, and you have it on. You know what I mean? So the ones I had before, I'd have to pick up one strap, throw it on like a cool kid with a backpack one arm in, and then put my other arm in, where this one you can just slide both in, pick up square, and then take off, So
well, that's one of the best things I like about it is their own military issued stuff, and they're made in the USA, top grade by USA company. So when I alter them to fit the stands and that, I use nothing but mil spec USA #1 stuff, and I don't go cheap on nothing. I use the top grade ITW Nexus buckles, which are what the military uses. Everything on my website, excluding one type of harness that I have. The guys like my harnesses, and I have a lot of guys. I did a lot of shows all over the United States, and they like the harnesses. But some of them can't. Some of them couldn't afford to pay the money for them, and the military to get the good stuff. I had to pay more money, but I wanted the best, and I offer a lifetime warranty on anything that I sew, and because I know it's good and it lasts. It's going to last you a lifetime out there, and that's so. But I did have a harness created overseas, and so that I could have it imported and get the cost down on one, so that the average hunter out there that couldn't afford my harness could have something in that design that he could carry his tree stand with, but it's not up to my par, but it's price wise, it's at cost price. So I did purchase them, and they're a good harness. They're comfortable, but because I don't sew them, they're packaged, they're back and on hang tags and everything for stores. But because of that, I don't warranty, because like I said, I don't sew them. So, but the other ones they're made in USA that I sew myself, and everyone touches my hand. So I examine them, and I go through each one to make sure, because a lot of them are surplus. I get a lot of. I don't tell hunters that some of them are new, because then they'll call me up and say, well, ask me for new ones. But I try to buy the grade A harnesses that I can. They're very expensive though, and so I get the best ones picked that I can out of the lot, and then like I said, I go through everyone by hand, and I sew them up myself. I don't have anybody else working for me, unfortunately, but they're all gone over, and they're a good system. I use one myself. I use one like you have, Cody, and and I love it. It's I use I also am a dealer for Lone Wolf tree stands that are made in the United States, so authorized dealer of theirs. If you ever go to my website, you'll see that. So, I'm a big endorser on the U.S. and military spec stuff, and I want the best. When I hunt, I only buy the best equipment, and I like to offer the best, and I think that I offer a good customer service. I like to be a one-on-one customer service person, and so that's what I thrive to be is a good a PR person. If somebody calls me, I'm always open to talk to them. A lot of guys will call me and say, "Hey, you got a lot of harnesses, Jim. What kind of harness would you recommend? This is a stand I have, and I'm pretty familiar with all stands out there now, and so, like, I can advise them. I'll say, well, do I need the 4-inch belt? Do I need the 8-inch belt? And it depends on their back. If they have a bad back or something, I'll offer them. I'll tell them that you might want to go with the 8-inch belt. But personally, my back's good, so I only use a 4-inch belt. I like a little support, but it's not necessary. For years before, when I was carrying a heavy stand, I only used the upper chest harness because it by itself gave me plenty of support, pulled the stand away from the back of my legs, and the bands, the straps that were on there, the bands used to hit me in the back of the legs when I walked, and I had a lot of problems with them, and I've had numerous women at shows try my harnesses on and love them, and so I've had numerous women purchase them, and I've done real well with them.
Yeah, I can tell the quality. I tried it on, and it's rated for 250 pounds, which blew my mind. I mean, that's a lot of weight. That's a substantial amount of weight.
Carrying me out of the woods.
Yeah,
on
I
that
could
thing.
carry homie out of the woods, and I was blown away by that. But with it being military grade, and you having that heavy stitching machine is understandable. And that's one thing that drew to me. Dan said, this is a all-American made product by a veteran, small business. So I was like, I'm going to dig into it. And then got to talking to you, and we kind of went through what my pack-in system was. I thought that was very cool. You asked me, what stand are you running? What sticks are you running? How much packing in are you doing? And you broke it down with me really good customer service wise to pick the pack that was good for me, and then you said, I think this would be the one that you would want. And I'm super glad that I got to talk to you, because if I did go on your website, I might not have known exactly what to pick. So that's a good option for people that are listening to be able to say, hey, Jim, this is my style, this is what I'm doing, and just be able to ask you, say, what's the best? Because the other packs don't have the back shoulder pad, correct?
Yeah, the one harness that I have is actually the shoulder system off of Marine Ilby pack system, and these pad on it isn't there on the back. It's padded. It's for the run and gun type of somebody's using a hang on stand, and it's going to pack in. He's using a light stand. He doesn't want something heavy. He's going in and out for a quick evening hunt or a quick morning hunt, and he's not packing a heavy load. And so, like, if you tell me that, if you would you run that by me, I say, well, you might want to think about the button buck. That doesn't have quite the padding on it, but it weighs half as much weight.
Yeah.
A lot of guys I talk to worry about weight. They don't want to be carrying any more weight. I mean, ounces they think of. I mean, you would believe what. I'll go to some of these shows, Cody, and I'll be talking to some of these guys, and I'll talk to these guys. They'll talk for me for. I'll talk to the same guy for half an hour. I mean, he'll just go on and tell me what he likes and what he doesn't like, and and after so many years of talking to these guys, I kind of know what they like and what they don't like, I do what I can to help them out.
Yeah, you're giving, just like you said, you gave the option for a smaller, lightweight, cheaper version, but you're not backing it with a warranty, which is completely understandable. It's something, that you're having made instead of you make with your hands. But I mean, with your warranty, that was another thing that blew me away. I mean, 100% warranty for life, anything that you sew. I understood why I got the pack, but for me, the weight craze is huge right now, and I understand for a lot of guys, that pack in like every hunt, throughout the whole entire year. They're wanting to look at weight, but I was looking at more of like a comfort thing because my weight game is so off with a camera, audio equipment, a tree arm. Sometimes me and homie are going in together, so I might be carrying the stand and sticks, and he might be carrying a stand and camera bag. So you get a little bit of a break. But if I do go in there by myself, I'm carrying stand, sticks, camera bag, food for the day, water. You got a lot of weight, and once you start thinking about that, I started thinking about something for comfort because homie knows what I had last year, and it just wasn't. It was something I bought quick. I was only gonna hunt pack in a few times. I ended up doing it like 8 times. Some of them were absolutely brutal. And this year, I'm so much more confident going in my packing hunts because me and homie were just breaking down exactly what I was going to do. I have a game plan now of how I'm going to stack everything. And with that other system, I really couldn't do that because it was just the backpack straps. I didn't have options to where I can use these straps for my sticks. I can use this strap for my backpack if I wanted to because you got that top strap that goes on your stand. You could hook that right to the D-loop of your backpack on top and draw it tight, and now you have something that's holding your backpack and your stand with this carry harness, and that's something I didn't have the capabilities of doing last year, and now I get the game plan in my head, and I'm more confident. I'm adding, I don't know, maybe a pound. I don't know exactly what it weighs, 1.5 pounds. It can't weigh that much.
It's so tight to your body, you're not even going to notice that extra weight.
But I mean, you could lose some weight if you didn't run the waist strap, but the waist strap is so huge because once you get that waist strap on, the weight carrying is so much less. And last year I struggled. I did some hunts where I didn't take my packing stick. I took regular stands, like regular, just like small big game stands in. It could move and stuff, and it just wasn't working. So this year with this setup, I'm way more confident to say, well, yeah, I am going to go to that stand I did pick instead of settling for this spot because it's a little bit closer and I'm dying at this point. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of guys out there that feel the same way you do. No matter who you talk to, you always get the guys are always like got a little difference in the way they carry some. Like I said, a lot of them have bad backs, but they still want to they still want to put on the hunt, and they've hunted out of tree stands all their life, and they still want to hunt out of a tree stand, and and so if I can help them out that way, I'm more than happy to help them out. And I have I used to carry a pretty big day pack on the back of my stand because when I go in, I'm in for the day, especially during the rut, not so much when the season first starts, but when I hunt hard during archery during the rut, and I'm in for the day. I don't like to move, and so I take a full pack with me, and I'm sitting for the day, and so I attach it to the back of my stand, and I don't have any problems carrying it in with like I said, the same kind of system that you're carrying on your stand.
Yeah, I think it's great. I didn't even think about people that had maybe a back problem or something with that waist belt helping you. I know when my grandpa had a back problem, he always wore a waist belt just in general every day. So I guarantee you with that waist belt, you draw that tight, it just gives you a little bit more support on your back. That's going to make a huge difference. And I'm the same way as you. I can't even talk to the weight guys because I pack enough snacks for 2 days and I eat them all by noon. But
That's a third of your weight,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. My backpack's a third snacks, easy. And then water. My wife says you're always thirsty, but I just drank a lot of fluids, man. I consume a lot of fluids, and I pack a lot of water every day, and I can't compete with that. But like I said, with this, I feel like I could pack even more snacks. I mean, I feel like my snack game should step up. But so we talked. Oh, go ahead.
That's what I try to tell some of the guys out there, that don't like the extra weight. If they're packing up a lot of stuff, and that that extra pound of weight, I mean, the carry essence of that extra pound means the most. I mean, because you can carry so much more weight at a comfort level, which is unbelievable. I mean, these guys that come to these shows, Cody, they don't realize it until they actually. When I did shows, I had them on the stand. I had like 4 different kind of stands, and I had harnesses on them. And so the guys could try the tree stand on with the harness. And that's how I actually sold. That's how I would sell them, because they say, well, the first thing they want to know is how much does a harness cost, and then then you tell them, well, why don't you try one on, and see what you think, but once they try it on, they say, wow, man, that has catch me out.
Yeah.
So
I had homie try it on. He's like, how much does stand weigh? He's like, I can't even feel it back there hardly.
Right. Especially some of the ones they make now, I mean, you can, you put a pack on them, and like you said, people say, man, I can't even feel that stand on there. You can shoot with it on, you can, you're so versatile with it, it's come along. Archery hunting's gotten really big over the years, and along with the stands that they make, and the backpack my backpack fits right in with them.
Yeah, for sure. One other thing I would like to mention is you add an extra pound or so, but you're carrying the weight more sufficiently, so you're not going to be as tired. And there's nothing worse. You're packing in, and you're already tired, and then you got to hang the stand. People, you think about, I got to pack in a mile or 2 miles or whatever you're doing, but you forget, like, I got to pack in and then hang a stand sufficiently where I can hunt out of it, and then I got to pack it down and haul it out after I've hunted all day or whatever. So you got to think about that in the long run. Like you said, adding the comfort is way more valuable to me than adding a lesser strap with me having to worry about it and then being more tired when you're hanging the stand. So
right. Well, I'll tell you, Cody. I'll tell you what. I would go so far in some of the areas that I hunt that like I would take. My wife said I was crazy, but like I had a little handheld GPS because I get lost easy, and so I would take my stand the night before, and I'd haul it back into the woods, about 1 or 2 miles back in the woods where I was gonna set up that day, and then because I don't like going. That's one thing I don't like going out in the morning and walking back and then climbing in the dark. So so I like to get my stand on the tree before dark, and then I'll mark it on my GPS and my handheld GPS, and then I'd be able to find it in the morning. I didn't want anybody to steal it naturally, so I had to put it up that night, and just to be sure, nobody be around that area. But that's what I used to go out the next morning and then try to find it with the GPS, because just that same reason. And I like to hunt deep, and I'm not too keen on climbing in the dark, and sometimes it's wet, and you never know what you're going to run into when you're climbing a tree. And I like to look at that tree in the daylight before I climb it and know where I'm climbing. Now, it's a different thing if I'm climbing, during the an all day hunt where I know the trees that I'm going to be in, and but when I go to new spots and stuff like that, I like to know what that tree is going to be like when I'm climbing it.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing that I always worried about too is I got to go in there and scope out the area before I just pick a tree. But there are some guys that are really good at that. They go in there, oh, this tree will work. Sometimes I do it in the broad daylight. You get up there, you're like, this tree won't work. This
You're
ain't
right.
gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's nothing more frustrating than that. You know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I have a good buddy of mine that I mean he uses one of my harness systems, and he's a real killer. But he shoots massive bucks. I mean, he's got them all over his living room, and he is uh, um, uh, but his skill level with a bow and climbing. I mean, he'll go out in the tree in the dark and in an unknown area and climb the tree with never been in it before, and then he goes up high, and I told him, I said, you're crazy, man. But some guys are like that. They just know how to hunt, and they know how to pick them. But he uses my harness. He's been using the harness for about 4 or 5 years now, and he loves it.
Yeah, I this would be my first season with it, but I can't wait to use it. One other thing I was just thinking about is when you are hanging a stand with this backpack strap, you'll be able to carry that sucker right up when you're hanging your sticks. You won't even have to worry about it. You have that thing right on your back, tucked tight to your body, so when you're hanging your sticks, you can just flip it right off your back and hang it right there. So that's another thing I'm looking forward to because I always used to leave it on the ground, pull it up with a rope. Now I already have it up there. Hopefully be able to make, and then once you pull the stand up with the rope, you got to go back down, hook all your bow and stuff up because you never pack 2 ropes. I mean, who packs 2 ropes? That's what you should do. I never do that. But then I could hook my backpack and everything up down there, and you could have everything ready to go. One climb with this. So that's another thing I'm excited to do. That's something I've never been able to do is put all my sticks up, hang the stand, and never go up and down. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, nice. Well, that's another thing that the guys if they do get a chance to go to my website, like I make up like I professionally sew too. Now I've gone from a home machine, and I've had a few people from my church that are professional sewers, and trained me on sewing after I got better at it because now I sew military gear, and do repairs, and plus I do a lot of accessories for my stands, and I got a couple other inventions that I invented, but I invented the a harness jacket for the bottom of the stand, so that covers the tree stand harness, so it holds its purpose is to hold the harness tight to the stand, so it's not, because a lot of guys don't like the fact that it's attached to the stand, and it might be hanging down, and so I offer them the harness jacket, and it rolls down. It over top of, after you get out to the stand, it rolls down over top of your harness, and it keeps the harness tight to the stand, so that when you climb the stand, you don't have anything hanging on the bottom. And it's a camo too, so it blends in with the wilderness, and it's made out of 1,000 denier cordura. So it's all waterproof, and like I said, I guarantee those too. So,
oh man, I'm gonna be getting one of those. I was just talking about homie. I said this is the one thing that I got to figure out is it hanging on the bottom. So you mentioned that just jacked me up anymore because I'm gonna be buying one of those. That's for sure.
Well, that it also hides the movement. I tell guys that it hides the movement of your feet if you have to shift. If you're like like me, I'm not a like I only probably hunt about 15 feet off the ground. I get a little nervous in that. I get too high, So I hunt about 15 feet, but I use a harness jacket on mine because it hides the movement if I have to shift my feet. I'm a stander. I like to stand all day in my tree stand, and then only um, and I offered I came out with a little detach kit that's a military type of clip that goes on to the harness, and then you can actually it comes with a DVD on how to attach it, and on the back side of your harness, and then it goes onto the spaces of your uh, uh, platform of your tree stand, so that if you get out to your tree stand, you want to take the harness off, you can pop it off.
Nice. So you got both
So
options. You can either hide it or pop it off. That's good.
yeah,
I'm interested in. I've been on your website. I did not scroll through and see that what do you call it?
Jacket?
The jacket, harness jacket. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look
yeah,
into that. I'm excited to see that.
yeah, it's under the accessories. Like if you go
Accessories.
through, I have the harnesses under, and then if you go underneath harnesses, excuse me, I got an accessories part.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. So this is a good place to roll into where they can all find you. You have the website, that's lockandwalk.com, correct?
That's the full name of it is Lock and Walk, LOCK, N as in Nancy, WALK, harness.com.
Okay, awesome. And then you have a Facebook also, Lock and Walk.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's kind of under development. I'm not real savvy with Facebook, and a lot of people have told me I got an IT person that's totally redoing my website right now because, like I said, I offer a lot of military items on it too because I do military surplus. I sew, and I sell lone wolf stuff. And then I also sell ITW buckles. So I dabble in a lot of other stuff too. So
I like that dabble.
but the harnesses are my bread and butter, as they say. And that's what started me off in all this, and that's what I excel at, and so, but it's just treated me good over the years, and I like working with people. I like talking to the hunters. I mean, I can relate because I'm so big into hunting. And so it's worked out well for me. But yeah, I have a website, and like I said, I used to do a lot of shows, and but I kind of got away from the shows because it's too much to set up and tear down, and for a weekend, and the trips got to be long. It was my wife, who is the part owner of the Lock and Walk, and she's got to be hard on her for doing the shows and that. And so we just decided just to um, not do them, and so now I just kind of advertise off the website, Facebook, and I sell some stuff on Amazon and eBay, but I don't really sell my a lot of my harness systems on eBay, and I do sell some of them on Amazon. But if you want to get a harness setup that I offer, the main place is my website.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm make sure and direct all the listeners. We'll put a link right there below for you guys on the page on Facebook or Instagram where you can go directly to his website and check it out. Jim, I think you did an awesome job coming on here. I appreciate you coming on. And is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners?
No, I think I covered it all, and And I just wanted to thank both of you gentlemen for having me on the show and letting me talk about my harness system. And I hope that you guys like my system, and that people, listeners out there, will that use my system will like it. And if they ever have any problems or something, hey, I'm only a phone call away. I got my phone number on my website. Just call me up, and if you have a problem with it, and like I said, if I can't repair it, I'll replace it. It's at no cost. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Me and homie love finding. That was our main goal for this, was to find stuff that we really like, that's not well known or not huge, that could be vital tools for whitetail hunters specifically, and stuff that's very in right now. So pack-in hunting is very in right now, and I feel like your company is something that is not really out there. And if you look at your prices compared to other companies' prices for pack-ins, it's actually cheaper if you're comparing what you're getting, and you're not getting a lifetime warranty with them. So when I found your product and dug into it, that's why I really wanted to have you on, because your product deserves this exposure. But like you said, for someone that's not very Facebook savvy, that doesn't, it's hard to get that reach, you know what I mean? So that's what we just want to help you do. We want to get that reach, and we want our buddies to say, hey, man, this is badass. Thanks for telling me. Because when Dan told me, I'm like, hey, man, thanks for telling me, because this is what I needed, and I didn't even know it was out there. So that was our main goal of having you on, was just trying to give you some exposure, because you have such a great product, and because you're such a nice dude. Military, offering a lifetime warranty on 100% American-made product.
Well, I really appreciate everything you guys are doing for me, and I just I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, this is really meant a lot to me.
And I
hope they got that "oh yeah" in there.
Oh yeah, and that's episode 2 of the Whitetail Gear series. We hope to bring you a few more of these episodes. We have a couple more companies lined up to come on. I really like this one. Jim's a great dude. Makes a great product. 100% American made by a veteran. Handmade, every one by him. Been doing it a long time. I learned some stuff from this podcast. I didn't know they had the cover. I'll be looking into that.
Yeah, the jacket. Yeah,
the jacket. So
that was like the first thing. The first and only concern that you had brought up. I was like, eh. And then as soon as he said that, you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. So
yep.
I'm excited to order one of those and get that on my gear. I know there's a lot of run and gun guys out there. Check them out on his website. I also wrote a blog a couple weeks ago. Maybe homie can add the link.
Yeah, we
this.
can do that.
You can check out, see some pictures of it, and kind of get a feel for what I thought personally, and go from there.
We have been told to do a giveaway. If you're listening this long, we definitely appreciate it, and you definitely deserve to be entered into this giveaway. This giveaway is from BIP. If you like and share this podcast post on Facebook, you will be entered in to win a free pack of broadheads, courtesy of VIP. So we definitely appreciate that, and we definitely appreciate you guys listening this deep.
Get out there. I hope all your stands are hung, but make sure that mobile set's ready. You never know when that mobile set's ready. I just checked everything on mine, make sure all the bolts are tight, did a couple mods to it, got the pack on there, and try to leave a legacy, and Whitetail Legacy's out.